Skigsiarek, ani napčuki Lourdes Pereira, ani varhiachaраtam chiuame, sirmakandred, sirmakchikshanta, kabiki, skigiktamani, mashtamarshon, hakakar, hamashtamakar. So good morning, my name is Lourdes Pereira, I'm hiacharatam Minyoame, and I come from the San Lucie district of the Tohono Nation. I am currently a student worker here at Labriola. I'm also a research assistant for Trevor Reed, who's a professor at the Sunday O'Connor College of Law. I'm majoring in American Indian Studies, and I also am minoring in Justice Studies. When I first was working at Labriola, it was in 2020, right before Alex was named director of Labriola. To see someone who comes from my own tribal community holding such a high-ranking position here at ASU is incredible to see, and it's an inspiration. Starting out with Labriola, we started off with a workshop that was kind of like my crash course into all of this. Was a community-driven archival workshop held in the Saltwater Reservation, and that's where I kind of sparked interest, and with that I brought it back home, talking to my mom about it, and then when I started seeing that there was tapes and plastic and that they're in a garage that's like 110 degrees, I was like, Mom, what are you doing? And I could tell that it really inspired me, everything I was learning in these workshops. Then with the help of Alex and alongside my mother, we applied to a $10,000 grant that helped digitalize these microcassette and cassette tapes, and that's really what started this work with building the Hiachid Autumn repository, and also my background knowledge of knowing how this could help us become federally recognized. Because if you have any knowledge of the Bureau of Indian Affairs, when you are trying to become federally recognized, there is a list you need to check off, and with that you have to make yourself distinct as a tribal community, and I know that our archive can get us there. When we are talking to Congress about being federally recognized, we need that proof. I'd say that's a snippet kind of like the projects and things that I've done here at Labriola, besides outside of just helping students day to day with whether finding a book or any research question they have or any help they need. My overall goal is definitely to still pursue a JD. So I'd still love to, and my vision is to be accepted to Sandra Day College of Law and be a part of their American Indian legal program, because it's #1 in the nation. I definitely want to specialize in Indigenous intellectual property rights, which is my connection to Trevor Reed. Me being his research assistant, I've learned so much. And also the work I've done here at Labriola with protecting community memory, they kind of formed really beautifully, and I truly do hope to pursue that with a law degree. I definitely think Labriola is a force to be reckoned with, and I think other universities need to look at Labriola as an example of how we can establish a presence at a university for the Indigenous community, how we can provide resources and be that voice for not just Indigenous people, but Indigenous knowledge systems. That's not just Indigenous people you see engage with our collection here. You see non-Indigenous peoples and people who maybe have questions but are afraid to ask, or, it's both Indigenous, non-Indigenous communities coming here and accessing this knowledge that you don't normally see in mainstream. And I think that it's extremely important to have a place where you can engage with a collection that's books, authors, Indigenous authors written by the Indigenous community themselves, but also having Indigenous faculty that you can go to for research questions or whatever it may be, because Labriola isn't just research and books and knowledge, it's also this flip of artistic background, Indigenous artists and their voices. You need to acknowledge that there isn't just this Western paradigm or epistemology when you bring in Labriola into this conversation, and other Indigenous libraries. You're acknowledging outside of this settler colonial society, you're acknowledging these Indigenous epistemologies. Overall, Labriola has provided me with a family here at ASU, a safe space, a place where I can go and see other people like myself who are going through similar journeys as me. It's allowed me to grow and thrive and achieve things I would have never guessed when Alex first took me on as his student worker, that I'd be able to digitalize over 400 microcassette and cassette tapes and scan over 700 documents from my tribal community. So Labriola has meant and still means the world to me. and it's been an honor working here.